That game was freaking amazing.
Wasn't it glorious?
It was glorious. And you got Victorian steampunk mode with Sir Charles Bakley and whatever the hell the names of the other characters are.
I want to play it in Al Bhed.
You can. That's why I love it. You can play it in Al Bhed. Even in-game, it's like, oh, these ancient runes. I think it's written in Al Bhed. Like, Jesus. Friggin' gold. And one thing I totally forgot about, though, was that bad ending. You could just join Dark Barkley and kill off Hoops just right there on screen. Cyberdwarf's just looking at you like, oh my god. Speaking of Cyberdwarf... any other criteria? Just apple bottoms.
Just...
Your ass looks like a Granny Smith. This game is freaking dialogue, man. It's like, wow.
Genius. Pure genius.
You get, like, Tupperware armor from the ancient dwarven mines. God knows how Ivory got it in some way. You know, my one regret is missing Chaff Grenade. Not that we needed it, but it would have been kind of nice to have for the animation alone.
My one regret was playing it with you.
Oh.
Now my life is ruined.
Well, now you can play Victorian Steampunk mode without me. Even though it was on my computer, so you have to beat the whole game regular, and then play Victorian Steampunk mode. And there's not even a difference. It's really just character portraits like that. It's like, oh, okay. Like, does it matter that you're Sir Charles Bakley? Not even a little bit. I freaking love that library card thing, though. Like, oh, you didn't get the other 3. It's not even like you're missing 1. Like, there's 3 more.
Just like Smash TV.
No, there aren't.
just like Smash TV.
Except that...
They fixed it
yeah,
later because...
except that Barkley is trolling and Smash TV was just like a total asshole without even knowing it. Hey guys, keep putting in those quarters. Get the Pleasure Dome, try it. Don't worry about it, it'll happen. It's totally okay.
Just keep giving us money, it's cool.
Yeah, I mean, as fun as that game is, it's like, I want the Pleasure Dome. Big money, big prizes. I love it. But overall, really, thanks a lot for showing me this game. I know it's like, what, like 4 years later they were actually Let's Playing it, but still.
I mean, like, this game is, like, timeless, and still not enough people know about it.
Well, it's timeless except for mentioning freaking Little Bush. Who remembers that? I barely remember that.
What is that?
Exactly, and we grew up with that. Remember, like, during when Bush was president? I know it's an 8-year span, but what was this made? Like, 2006 or something, this game? But there was, like, a little sitcom called... There was a little sitcom called Little Bush. There was a sitcom called Little Bush, and it's just some parody of President Bush, and it looked like a total piece of crap. That was the most topical thing ever. I've never seen an episode, and you know...
Was that on Comedy Central?
Maybe. I don't even remember what network. And you know it's one of those things that died after, like, 2 episodes. And, like, it goes to show you, any new people who get into this game aren't going to have a clue. We barely have a clue. I can't even really tell you about the show, and I was there when it happened. It's like, remember Little Bush? No. It's just like that Bernie Mac stuff. You knew that. I had no clue.
Not even Google knows what that is.
Now, you know what cracked me up, actually, was there was a Riff Tracks episode of, I think it was a Star Wars Christmas special. What was the show called? Like Wings or something? They're like, so obscure, even Wikipedia doesn't have an article for it. And we checked immediately after, and they were right. Just nothing. And it's a TV show. We don't know anything about this. But regarding Shut Up and Jam Gaiden, it's like, I don't think they're making a sequel as much as I would love it if they did.
I would like it if they just made another game in general.
Yeah, anyone. Yeah, I think... Well, wasn't that the last game they made?
I mean, it's the biggest game of any value. I mean, I'm sure the game took a long time.
Yeah, there's 2 other games. One of them was a shareware that's the title of which is just straight up offensive, which I mentioned during the Let's Play, the Anne Frank thing. And even they were like, we're not keeping this on the site. But then there was
Wu-Tang roguelike.
It's a roguelike.
Wu-Tang.
And like now, whenever I hear the word roguelike, I know Binding of Isaac is the more mainstream roguelike, but I always picture Baroque. And I'm like, how would this work?
Well, that was like the first like roguelike you ever played, really.
I know. So I'm skewed toward that game's direction. But I just keep thinking like, remove the pain. Like, no, it was like, give me pain so that I may not completely lose my mind. I'm like, the Wu-Tang. So there's those 3 games. The Shut Up and Jam Gaiden one's definitely the one that's most worth your time, and you can find this on talesofgames.com. When I say this, I will have the link on the screen. Tales of Games. Yeah, Tales of Games. I do rather like that. Yeah. Like they put so much effort into it, right down to the freaking DirectX 10 with what is very obviously not.
Yeah. Looks like it's a real PC game, like booting up.
And wasn't that, like, not Charles Barkley on the screen cap? It might have been, like, Shaq or something.
I think it looks like Shaq.
It's just, like, everything is wrong. I just love how Michael Jordan... How many sprites are there for Michael Jordan? And they use freaking smooth criminal moonwalker Michael Jackson.
Yeah,
it's like, his name's Michael, and he's got a J the last name, no one will know. And he's doing the freaking, like, lightning. He's just that lean forward.
He even had his own game, Chaos in the Windy City. I mean...
Yeah, that game actually looks pretty decent.
It's actually a Metroid
in fact,
kind of game.
Have it up there. I think it's off camera, but it's like...
Oh, yeah.
It's like right
NBA Jam, too.
NBA Jam is gold, man. Look at this freaking... Look at this cover! I want to play this so bad.
An NBA Jam for the 32X.
Are you serious?
It's got slams and jams.
It does have slams and jams. That was one thing that was weak about Charles Barkley. Was Vince Carter pointed it out, is that his slams were amazing, but his jams really left something to be desired. And...
Jammed with the rest.
Yeah, if you can't slam with the best, you jam with the rest.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, the first time Barkley used that was for that little kid he did not want to donate Neo Shekels to. Really, the only thing you get from that is just the goofy little commentary from the developers and the game over screen. So if you want to be a nice guy, I mean, you saw us at the end of the game. We had more money than we knew what to do with. It's not like you were really going to be pressed for cash. So you could be a nice guy and help these people out.
I just like that kind of like reference to like Chrono Trigger, you know, kind of like
like the developer ending.
Yeah, the developer ending. Yeah, I mean,
you have to beat the crap out of that game to do that, though.
This game has like a lot of love towards like 16-bit RPGs.
Yeah, it does shout outs toward all sorts of old school games. Like it mentions like A Bard's Tale. A bunch of Japanese games, which I've never heard of them, but I would not be at all surprised if they existed.
They're probably not good.
Yeah, I know, yeah. The best like VidCon ever, game. I'll tell you. Yeah, this dating sim. Even I felt the palpitations of... Shut up! The palpitations of love's caress. Piss off! Like, most weeaboo guy ever. That's one other thing that cracked me up, was like the save points were apparently people, because number one, Hoops was able to talk back to it, and number two, that B-Ball Dimension save point, which was... a response to the other save points.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, Quake wasn't that bad. I mean, I know it didn't age well, but, like, don't say it's bad just because it's Western. God. Like, I just love stuff like that. The game's making... That's what I appreciate. The people who made the game clearly are enough of nerds to, like, know about all of this stuff, but they're making fun of the people who know about it, so it's, like, self-deprecating humor. And
that's
that
great.
Dungeons and Dragons stuff...
Bugbears?
Yeah, I mean, like, I know what those are, but what cracked me up was that the descriptions of the Dungeons & Dragons stuff, like the Drow Elf, that was...
Straight up.
That was accurate.
From the book.
And then it mentioned stuff like bugbears. I think the information about them was inaccurate. And then it's just showing, pictures that are just like, they're just making, it just gets worse and worse. It's just like, this isn't even real. Like, there's like a guy wearing a mask, you're like, And it's like, and it's the bestiary. Not a single one of these things were in the game.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's a Dungeons & Dragons bestiary that is not helpful at all. Like, thanks for nothing. And they got the old sprites. They had the freaking dentists from Toe Jam and Earl. Like, I never saw that coming. They had those succubi from the Disgaea series.
Yeah.
Ugh. Those rather cracked me up. Bunch of other characters. Obviously, Moonwalker for Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson.
And Skate is my favorite.
Yeah, Skate. Yeah, at the time, I hadn't played Streets of Rage 3 yet, so I'm like, oh, Skate's from Streets of Rage 2. But yeah, you were right, man. That was definitely Streets of Rage 3 version.
Yeah.
They had his text, like his face for the dialogue and everything. Freaking gold. And the dialogue in there was so great. I just love how the entire time, all this in-universe stuff is happening. Like, oh no, you need to save us from the oppressive evil or whatever. Charles Barkley does not care.
Yeah,
he's just like, can I go save my son now? Like every time someone's doing something, it's just like, I'm sick of this place and stupid people. He just walks away. Like, you guys are chumps. Freaking love that. Like, I didn't want more.
It's seriously more entertaining and there's really no filler, and the filler is...
I know!
But the filler is there to make fun of filler, so...
Yeah, it's, like, worth having.
It's okay.
Like, Cesspool X, it's like, I hate furries, here's a town of furries. It's
that's, like, the point of the game is to make fun of RPGs. It's legitimately better than a lot of other RPGs I've ever played.
And again, even the dialogue, like, it's bad dialogue, but it's written that way on purpose, and it's, in that sense, it's well written. Like... You would believe some whiny little teenager wrote this stuff on the internet, like like with the save points. Like, what was it? Like, put down the ham sandwich, you gaijin. Like, ease up on the haterade, like you baka. Like, like my favorite was that furry in Cesspool X who was just like talking about that fox person. It's not a fox. I think as simple as that. I guess if I were to put it in simple terms, yeah, it would be a kitsune. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man, like. I know they're not quite the same, but shut up. I'm seeing 9 freaking tails on this one. It's just embarrassing. Or 7, I think it's 9 tails. Which is the proper Kitsune? I know Naruto's does the 9 tails thing, but is it proper Kitsune 7 or 9? I don't even know. Because there's that Zelda one as well. It's like, here's a real, whatever the hell Keifi's mask is supposed to be. It's a real, we're not calling it Kitsune, but it is. Whatever the hell it is. But, like, it's stuff like that. It's like, if I were to put it simply, I would say a Kitsune. It's like, my love for her is... And, like, when you actually talk to her...
The description of Pocky is my favorite, because it...
the richest chocolate imaginable.
Because, like, Pocky is, like junk food in Japan. It's junk food. It's like, you're talking about it as if it were, like, some kind of gourmet item.
Yeah, I don't know if you ever had Pocky, but if you ever
it's great, but...
Yeah, if you ever eat it, it's because you're watching something or whatever. You're not gonna, like, talk to people like... Damn, it's just like, it's something you eat, like, whatever.
Yeah.
It's like a cookie, like, who cares?
Yeah.
Well, just like the richest chocolate imaginable. It's not available in the West. Like, yes, it is. Go to like
you do it all the time.
Yeah, go to like a supermarket. Like, they do. I don't know how different things were a few years ago, but you can get it now. I mean, it's not gonna be in the front shelves with everything else. It's like clearly not a Western food, but like it's not really that hard to get. Yeah. It's not that big of a deal either.
Yeah.
It's like, it's okay. It's not bad to eat for a little while, I guess. Have like 2 or 3 sticks, call it a day. Whatever. Buy a box of like 20 or something. I don't know.
Have you ever had Giant Pocky?
Nah, I think I just had the regular.
I actually don't like it as much because
really?
Like it's like the bread stick is like the biscuit stick is like the stick, and it's just like not enough chocolate.
I was gonna say it's like I want the chocolate. It's I feel the same way about those Christmas Reese's things where it's like,
oh yeah, there's too much peanut butter. Yeah,
like, I mean, I love peanut butter chocolate, but there's way too much peanut butter. You're taking like a bite out of a chunk of peanut butter. It's like, oh god, like I like the Easter egg. Yeah, like I like peanut butter, but it's like, geez, like you don't just eat a hunk of peanut butter. It's like that, yeah. So, but I digress. But I also love the really bad dialogue that the Kitsune herself has. Like, I like animals because like I work at a zoo, and just animals are the best, and I like animals.
Way better than humans.
Yeah, I'm just like, why am I even reading this?
Some of the stuff was legitimately hard for me to read. Like, you can hear me like cracking up. Like, it's just like, yes, I'm reading this bullshit.
My favorite part, easily. Like, when we got to it, I'm like, you're not gonna outdo this. Was that Huckleberry Hound thing? You were dying.
Oh, Arlen.
He taught me how to ride a bike, and you're like, on TV.
I was like, I couldn't even read it. Like,
that was the funniest thing by far.
So dumb that I couldn't even stand it.
And I felt so bad because I don't know the voices for any of these characters. I don't know how to read them. Like Huckleberry Hound, even Huckleberry Hound, I should have known. I'm like, same thing for Bill Cosby. It's just like, I know how his voice sounds. Like the take you saw, I didn't. Yeah, I tried doing a take of Bill Cosby first. Yeah. It was not fun.
If we had prepped it, maybe we could have done it.
Maybe, yeah. You do not want to hear my I just fell apart
with the Rudy and the pudding pops.
Yeah, but it was just that he talked at length, and I'm like, I can't do this.
Yeah, I don't know how to make.
I can do a line. Yeah. It's like. Now do it if you're Bill Cosby and that's just how you talk. I'm like, I can't do this.
Your version of Bill Cosby was hilarious until you just stopped.
It wasn't even fun. I was just like, you know what? We're not doing this. And I actually got it out though because the feed glitched, so I had to put that clip back in. So I'm like, yes, I could redeem myself. Never do Bill Cosby again. And but I don't know. Is there anything else about the game you want to talk about? Because I'm kind of running out of steam here.
I mean. I just wish there were other games that were as well made that comment on the genre.
I think this took them about a year to make.
I mean,
they put a lot of effort into this.
I'm not joking in saying that this game is legitimately more fun for me than most RPGs. I mean, it's short, which is good.
Well, it doesn't wear out its welcome. Yeah. That's another thing I forgot actually about this game. At no point do you have to grind. Just kill every enemy in the dungeon, and there really aren't that many. Yeah, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the enemies don't even respawn. You can save and quit the game and reload it if you want to exploit that, but really, if you're playing the game properly, just kill everything, and you will beat the game. And it's just the right amount of challenging. I never died during battle, but you saw how close I came a couple times, especially with the ghastly Dark Lord, which was a secret boss anyway.
Yeah, I mean, the real meat of the game is the dialogue and how dumb it is. I mean,
it really is. The battles are just kind of they're in there and they are fun, and it's actually a better battle system than some games. Vince Borg's laser attack, you could free control.
It has action elements.
Yeah, you could free control the laser during the battle. I've never seen that. And yeah, the quick time it has quick time events. It's freaking 16-bit.
It's very similar in a lot of ways to Super Mario RPG or something like that.
It is, because each character has a unique attack. What kills me, though, is your regular attack. Characters have 2 or 3 versions of regular attacks. Yeah. Then their special attacks. Then the defense. Then they're running away. And they can use chups to cure the glaucomas. My favorite part, though, was Asperger's. Like, well, what's that status effect? Socially awkward. Thanks!
And you cure it with alcohol?
Well, what did you actually do? I think you were, like, confused or something. You're just like, It was something like that. Like, you're just kind of walking around all weird. It's just like, this game's kind of offensive, and I don't get it.
It is.
Yeah, it's like, whatever. You'll find that out quickly enough going in.
Yeah.
Also, Hoops hatched from a basketball egg, and Charles Barkley dated Maureen because she looked like a basketball.
When they were explaining that he hatched from an egg,
it's like, no, basketball.
What am I reading?
Yep.
Really?
Well, no, the same thing. Remember Maureen? It's like, I always thought, like, Maureen's head was, like, big and round like a basketball. Maybe that's why I fell in love with her. And they're like, you know what? You're right. I'm like, really? This game's amazing. But that all said, this game was so much fun. I've beaten it once or twice before, but it's been a while since I've done that, so a lot of this stuff really was new to me again. So my reactions were real.
And I've never beaten it. I actually got like halfway through.
Yeah, you got through like what, like the sewers or something. I think you got. No, you got a little past Cesspool X, I think.
Yeah.
So you got kind of like reasonably right. Far. It was like you had like 2 dungeons.
I already knew I liked it. I just never got a chance to beat it.
And it was in college, so it's like, we have things to do.
Yeah.
Like, because we kind of gathered at his place one day, so it's like, you lose the magic when it's just, you follow that up by yourself.
That's true.
I mean, as goofy as it sounds, even, this is like 3 or 4 years before I ever even considered recording things. We were doing the voices for this game anyway, just like in the room together, no one's watching. We're doing the voices.
Yeah, I mean,
great.
This is truly a game that, like, one of your friends should play, and then the rest of you watch him play it and act it out. Like, I mean, it's totally the way to do it.
I mean, like the fact that you're watching
like what we did.
Yeah, like I mean, I know that the fact that you're watching this means that you enjoy watching people play games anyway. But like a lot of people think, well, I'd rather play games than watch someone else do it. But like there are certain games where it really works.
Yeah,
like watching
Azura's Wrath.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
You might as
like
well.
Watching...
Even the player's barely playing.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I love it, though.
I know. It's like a brilliant game, and it revolutionized a genre that still doesn't exist.
Yeah.
So, like, I love that game, but, yeah, not gonna lie, there's not much gameplay. Like, you're supposed to watch it play out. But, I mean, even games, or gloriously bad games, like Overblood, for God's sake, don't play that by yourself. You must have friends around.
Yeah.
It's like watching a bad movie. You get a whole new level of enjoyment out of it. This game is good, pretending to be bad.
We should let's play
Overblood. I have it.
It's like the best game that bad game I ever found that nobody knows about.
Peepo? Okay.
Peepo!
Okay, I'll call you Peepo then. Alright. Like, this game sucks.
There's a sequel.
And I can't play it. And even if I could, I don't know Japanese.
Don't want to.
And I don't think there's a fan translation, because why the hell would there be? We need to bring this game on stage, guys.
Let's get on that.
Yeah, because I know Japanese. Even if I could pronounce Michael Jordan's last words, so desune. That was pretty funny. Those were his last words. But, I'm starting to ramble. But once again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for co-oping.
See ya.
Till next time, everyone. Hey everyone, just thought I would add some last-minute commentary here, a couple thoughts that we did not express in our post-game commentary, as well as the Let's Play itself, due to information we discovered later, things like that. Be aware that I'm recording this weeks after the Let's Play, and even after the post-game commentary, due to receiving new title card submissions, as well as, like I said, discovering new information. First of all, a couple bits of trivia for you is, a couple other outside game references we didn't notice at first. You know those b-ball zombies, the guys walking around like this, and they have a head that just is a basketball to throw it at you? That, as goofy as that is, even the throwing of the head is not original to this game. That sprite was ripped entirely from Michael Jordan's Chaos on the Windy City. Except in Chaos on the Windy City, they grow their heads back, so they're still constant threats. But this is an RPG, so they made it quirky. Speaking of Chaos on the Windy City, you know Michael Jordan's face when he talks to you in the text dialogue boxes when he's in that inspector suit? I don't know where the inspector suit comes from. It looks kind of like something Dick Tracy would wear, but I can't confirm that. But Michael Jordan's face itself is actually a really shrunk version of his sort of health gauge from Chaos in the Windy City. You have an actual health meter of basketballs, believe it or not. That game is really silly. But also, it's kind of like Doom. You know what your health is, but then you see the picture of your guy's face. So you see Jordan smiling, and as your health gets lower and lower, he starts to frown. So his smiling face was used for the Jordan text in Shut Up and Jam Gaiden. Similarly, Charles Barkley's face used for Shut Up and Jam Gaiden, that face where he's going like, it just looks like I'm taking no crap from anybody. I don't know if that's in the game, but I definitely saw that face on the back of the box for Shut Up and Jam 2, which is pretty funny. Other references, I remember that Vice said something about how the CEO of Spalding was from Last Action Hero. I have not confirmed that, but I would not be even slightly surprised if he was right. He probably is. He knows all sorts of old games way better than I do, including Chaos in the Windy City. So there's also that. Now, one thing that was really interesting to me was that Screaming Mantis pointed out to me that Charles Barkley is wearing a purple jersey, which is as wrong a jersey as he could possibly wear. At the time, Charles Barkley was on the Chicago Bulls, and the purple jersey really belongs to the Lakers, and the Bulls and the Lakers were like blood enemies. So it's just really funny that Charles Barkley would be wearing that jersey. Now, Shut Up and Jam Gaiden did not do that intentionally. They just ripped the sprite from Charles Barkley's Shut Up and Jam. I don't know if it was one or two. But in Shut Up and Jam, they're actually wearing purple jerseys. Now, the reason for this is because they presumably did not get the rights to the Bulls, just Charles Barkley. It's the same thing with Tecmo Bowl for the NES. Every freaking football team had pink somewhere in their palette, or most of them did, because pink is a color that's very obviously not used by any official teams, so they can get away with it and make your little official teams. So that's what they did for Shut Up and Jam. Everyone was wearing generic purple jerseys so as not to infringe on anyone's copyright. On the other hand, purple sure was a hilarious choice for someone like Charles Barkley himself. So while Shut Up and Jam Gaiden was not trolling in that respect, the original Shut Up and Jam kind of goofed that one pretty good. Again, I know they weren't doing it for that reason, but it's just kind of an amusing observation. I don't follow basketball, so I never would have known that myself. So thanks a lot for that, Screaming Mantis. Now, one thing I should address, which is going to be the giant elephant in the room. Almost no one brought this up, so I guess my viewers are just really polite. But the main problem with this entire Let's Play was the doubled background audio, the music and the sound effects in the game. It's plainly apparent that it's there, and I'm sorry that it is. Here's the reason for that. I think I mentioned this before. Vice the Bold lives about an hour from me, so I can't just say, hey, want to come over real quick and record some of the game, especially because my best recording time is past 10 p.m., so that's just a ridiculous request to make. So what we do is we both go on our computers, and I show him the video of the game through Skype. And that's normally no problem, but you can't transmit audio that way. So what I did was I took my microphone, and I put it just down on the table in front of me, sort of close to the speakers, so he would just hear my residual sound. And that worked, but here's the problem. He would talk to me, and I would get his lines, but because I guess my sound was kind of loud, the sound he heard through his speakers would kind of go back through his microphone and into my speakers. So I would be recording the game's natural audio, and also I'd be picking up residual audio from him, coming back slightly later, because it's hitting him, then hitting me. And I can't separate his voice and the audio he's getting. It's the same track, so there's really nothing I could do about it. If I mute the game's audio and I pick up his residual audio, it's barely there. You almost can't make it out. But which means that I need to keep the original game's audio. But because it's barely there, it doesn't mean it's not there. You can still hear it. So in the sound effects, you hear bam, bam, and it's just a nuisance, and it's a pain in the ass. So I guess for co-op Let's Plays, unless I can find another way to transmit audio to the other person, then the person I'm playing with might just have to do without audio. And I really wanted him to hear the audio of this game because the audio by itself can be really amusing in some places. So it's just kind of something either the person I'm playing will have to suck up, or we'll have to actually record in the same room, which is a whole different level of of difficulty. So I do apologize for that. The game still came over really well, but there's that bit of an audio mishap. Sorry. Oh, one thing I forgot. A couple people did point out to me that Zauber is actually a German word for charm or spell, which makes sense, as Balthios is the magic guy. They used a couple German words in that game. There was Zauber, there was like the whole B-ball knocked thing. I know there was something else. There was something that was said in Liberty Island, the one where I read it out loud, and I'm like, oh no, I'm butchering this, I'm sorry. I did it twice. That word as well, I'm sorry, I'm just flaking on it right now. I don't know, I guess the guys get a real kick out of that. Also, the pump save dialogue. I heard that at least some of the pump dialogues were actual forum posts that the people ripped and put into the game just because they're really funny. And they don't explain that they're jokes, they just show the forum posts. So if you find it amusing, then you get it. If you don't, then you just don't get why it's funny, which just really cracks me up by itself. Although Old Man Stompy actually told me that, you know, the B-Ball Dimension save points, the one that was like, hey dude, I know I agree with a lot of your opinions, but you're just being racist and you're being really annoying, and he makes this giant like 6 or 7 page rant against this guy's giant ignorant 6 or 7 page rants, and it's just like this whole counterpost, like, I will quote the father of philosophy, Socrates, the only thing I know is that I don't know anything. That whole thing, apparently that was from a poster who played a demo, like when Shut Up and Jam Gaiden was still in its demo stages. He was playing the demo, and he was getting really irritated by the save points, so he made a post against them. So they just took that post also and put it in the game, which is just freaking genius. These guys are excellent trolls, man. I freaking love it. This is why I love games like this. They put such effort into it, and they make all sorts of jokes that if you get good, if you don't, keep moving, see what happens. It's so good. I had a lot of fun playing this game. I hadn't played it in its entirety since maybe a little bit after college. I think that's how it goes. Yeah, since college or maybe a little afterwards. So it was a lot of fun to relive, and it was really fun to show Vice the Bold. As we said in our closing video, he really, back when we were in college, we played up to Cesspool X and kind of stopped and moved on to something else. So he never saw past that point. So I'm really happy that I was able to show him that game. And I really hope that you all had as much fun as I did. I just love the jaw-drop reactions from, like, I don't even know what this game's doing anymore. Especially with that dating sim. Gold. Utter gold. I'm telling you, man. Like, oh, Cyberdwarf. Vice the Bold needs to go into voice acting, man. He's pro. Grade A material, man. Give that man an Oscar. Awesome. And I would like to give special thanks to all the people who submitted title cards to me. So, in order of submission and therefore in order of appearance, thank you to MeGamer, Sonic Chica, Karina, Mr. Ryu45, and for the very first time I've actually received a title card from a viewer on YouTube. So thank you to the final submission from Adrian Izquierdo. You all did a fantastic job. Those cards are hysterical. Just the whole parody basketball dynamic. I don't know how the hell that came to be, because it was around in the 90s. Shut Up and Chaos on the Windy City was a thing. There it is. You're playing for Gatorade and Wheaties. I don't know what it is about that genre, but it's freaking gold, and I hope we see more of it. Honestly, I don't expect there to be a Shut Up and Jam Gaiden Chapter 2. I think they made this kind of on a whim, and it took about a year to do. They were going to make it just some goofy game, but then they really kind of kept going with it. But this was back in, like, 2008 or earlier. It might have even been a couple of years earlier, so I really don't think they're making another one. If they did, I really don't know what it would be. I know it's the Hoops Barkley saga, but unless they do a time skip, Hoops just isn't worth following. Even Vice, the guy voicing him, was just like, oh, this character's insufferable. It's just like, Dad, I don't want to hurt anybody. Shut up, seriously. I don't care anymore. But yeah, all that said, thank you very much for watching. I definitely have plans for my next couple of LPs. I just gotta test the games out to see if they all work okay, because one of them, I'll just see how it plays. The other, I'll see if I can record it properly, but I'll let you know what they're gonna be when I get to them, so that won't be very long from now. Thank you all so much for watching. Until next time, everyone.